All right, so one thing we haven't done this whole time, which is very naughty of me, you should do this at least every 15 minutes. We haven't saved. So I'm just going to do Control Shift S, which is just file save as. Um, and I'm going to save this as ball obstacle underscore v01. Okay, so for version 01. All right. Save as. Okay, good. So that's saved. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of like what we did before. In order to really help this kind of bellow, I'm going to break these tangents where I need to, which will help a bit. So I'm going to grab. Actually, I might wait. Hang on a second. I want to try this first. Just want to see what this looks like. So I'm happy with that timing. Okay, so I'm looking, and when he goes down here, when he's like struggling to come back up, he's not doing it long enough. It needs to be longer, I feel like. So I'm actually going to extend my range slider here, and I'm going to move these from here, because this is where it starts to pop up. So basically, for me right here, over. So I'm going to put my cursor over here. I'm going to hold Shift, then click and drag while holding Shift. So I highlight this entire area. Then I'm going to grab these inside arrows. I'm going to pull it this way and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm going to go a little bit more. Just like 2 more frames. Okay. So this is a good time to basically adjust your timing. I'm mostly happy with the rest of it. Well, actually, you know, now I'm looking at it. If you look, he kind of putters, and then he goes really fast down there, which seems not like it should be going quite so fast. So I am going to, he lands right here, so I'm going to extend this a little. Because I felt a little bit fast there. That's a little better. Okay. So we're going to call that good. So now I'm going to do this part. So you probably should do your timing first. Timing and poses, right? That's the first things we need to take care of. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to tell what the timing is, though, because the spacing's off, because it's too even. So I'm going to go and I am going to go now and break some of these tangents. So I'm going to grab these ones right here and here, and this one, because this is where all of the, I'm going to hit F to frame again. Yeah, this is where all the bounces are happening. So to break them, I just click on this button here. That will break the tangents, which now allows me to move these. I make sure I'm on the move tool, and I use my middle mouse button. It allows me to bend these separately of their other side. So like that, and we're going to go like that. And I'm going to bellow that out. So now they're nice and they're arched nice. All right, so like, and there, right there, and then we're gonna grab this one and bellow that one out a little, and then this guy, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull him down a little, so it's a little more of a tight hit. So let's see what that looks like. Good. You can see how much better that bounce looks now. Okay. That looks pretty okay. Okay, so now what I think I'm going to do is, all right, so, yeah, now I'm going to look at this, and it looks okay. I would make sure this all looks a little bit better. I'm just trying to go a little bit fast, so this isn't great or perfect, but it should do for now. So I'm going to actually go ahead and just do my ball rolls. So I'm going to select that same controller. I'm going to hit E for rotate. And what I need to do, though, because I hit key every time, what you're going to notice is, so actually I'm going to look at this, and what you'll see is that it's my blue, right? So it's the blue one. That's the one I need to rotate on to go like this. And you can see that's my Z or Z axis, okay? So the blue one. So I'm going to click on the blue here, rotate Z, and I'm going to F to frame, and you'll see I have all these keys that I do not need. So what I'm going to do is, I want to keep the first one just so there's an initial key, but I'm going to select all the other ones and delete those. So now there's no keys except for one. And I'm just going to manually go through. Okay, so, you know, it would probably roll up to here, and I'm just going to roll how far I think it would go. We'll see that. And I'm just going to, what's that, rotate Z? I'm just going to key selected, so that gets rotated. So we'll see, does that look It's actually not too bad. All right. And then I want it to move just a little bit forward here. And then we'll key selected. Key selected. All right, because it is moving a little bit during that time. Okay, so it moved a little bit forward. Now it's going to move back to here to 60. So I'm going to go back how far I think it would. I'm going to say about that much. So, yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so, and then from 60 now goes the other way. So he's going to go, I'm going to go to here. We're going to spin about that much, we'll say. Looks good. And then he's going to go up here. And I'm actually thinking it might be interesting because he's self-propelling himself, or herself. Mine's a he, I guess. So I'm actually thinking when it hits the air, I'm going to make it either move faster or slower, just because I think it might be kind of fun. I think I'll have it move a little slower. So right at 178, we'll just have it move a little bit. So it spins like that. And then because it's hitting, it's going to create friction. It's going to spin, I'm thinking, more till it gets to here. And spin that like too much. I think it might be kind of interesting. That might be a little too much. Like spin more than what's supposed to. Boom. And then from here, we're going to have it spin the appropriate amount. I'm going to say roughly to here. We're going to have it spin. It's got to spin quite a bit. And then I'm actually going to have it start spinning the opposite way, like it's trying to gain momentum in the opposite direction. So that it looks like it's trying to gain traction the other way. And then have it pop. And I'm going to have it spin a whole bunch because it's going to have leftover momentum. So it's like, and it's going to spin. And then it's going to spin a little bit, just a little bit more here. Like that, we'll say. All right, so let's see what that looks like. Now, to get a better idea of what it looks like so I don't have all this stuff in the way, I'm just going to go to Show and turn off NURBS curves. And that way when I play, it'll be easier to read. It's not too bad. Okay. All right, so one thing that I was thinking that might happen is that it's going to spin pretty fast, and then it should, like when it hits, it's going to be an abrupt hit right here for when it's spinning. It should spin at the fastest, and then it should slow down as it gets to this, which it's kind of doing, but I think it could do better. So, I think if I have it bounce, I think if I make this one linear, oops, sorry, not that one, linear, and then make this one, that one's already flat. I'm also going to break the tangent on this, so that way I can push this to be a little more bellowed. That way it'll spin really fast, and then this will like slow down, and then it should get faster. And right here, I'm also going to make this one linear, because it should be at the fastest right here, because it should slow and spin faster and faster, and then bam! And like that. I think that would be okay. Okay. Minor detail. All right. So that looks a little better. Okay. Also, there's a weird hiccup here. You see how it's, I'm going to hit W. Grab this. I'm going to hit F to frame. I can see that he's not quite touching here. So I'm just going to grab this keyframe and hold Shift. And I'm just going to adjust the value a little bit by pulling it down, because I know it's my translate X. I'm actually going to go ahead and just move that a little bit to the left as well. Might need to, there we go. Let's see. All right, maybe move it to the right. just try removing it all together. Okay. Let's do something real quick here. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. That is not giving me the correct thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and superficially put some keys in there because it's just not looking right. So it's pretty bad right there. Oh, this one itself is off. Let's see. So sometimes you gotta just put a bunch of keys in to make sure that it works. That's better. Okay. All right. So the other thing I need to do basically is that squash and stretch. And particularly with this, it's actually going to help quite a bit with making it look like it's got character, right? So I'm going to have it go up, and so that's actually a different controller. I'm going to go to show, turn nurse curves on. And it's kind of both of, I'm just going to go ahead and hit spacebar and tap into this. It's going to be a lot of just this disc and this thing. So I'm actually going to use both at the same time. So I'm going to set keys. I'm selecting both. I select one, and I hold shift and click on the other, and that selects two things. It toggle selects. I'm at S to key. S, there it goes. Okay. And then I'm thinking, so it's going to look up, but just before it gets there, I think that this should rotate a little bit this way. And we're also going to take this and push this down a little. Not a ton. Because that way what it does, it'll and actually for that matter, I'm going to grab both of these, and I'm going to move this key over here. That way it stays straight the whole time, and then he'll squash a little bit, and then I have him pop his head up, and we'll say right here, I'm going to have this rotate this way. Okay, I'm going to take this and pull this up a little. Okay, so it's like, boom. And then I'm going to have it settle a little. So have it settle. Okay, so this way it goes. It's like, boom. And then I need it to hold till, I'm just going to put it down a little bit here. So that way it holds that. And I'm going to have him come down, and I'm going to have him get squishier and squishier till he gets to 60, I think is what it was. I'm going to push that down. Let's see how that looks. That's good. And I think also I'm going to have this turn the other direction. So it should be, we'll say I don't know, we'll say 45. I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm just going to hold, I'm just going to hit S there anyway. And then at 60, I'm going to rotate it this way. So that way it's flowing with the surface. And then I'm going to have it, let's see, so it looks like 66 is where the key hits. I'm going to have it go like this. So it goes in the right direction. And then I'm going to have the disc at 65. I'm going to go ahead and push it down just a little bit to key it. And then at 67, I'm going to have it pop up. And actually, I'm going to take this and also make sure it's a little more the right angle, like that. So, boom. And I won't have it actually, I'm going to have it stretch for a little bit here because I'm picturing it being really gooey. So, I'm going to go ahead and, actually, I'll just type in 0 up here. And, you know, S to key that. So that way it's boom. And we're going to call that good on this one, and then I'll kind of continue. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and save it as the next version. All right. All right, and then it'll be the next video.